This video is a preview of our course lesson. Please visit myconsultingcoach.com to access the full version. Here's how the case goes. Local schools in the Australian state of Victoria display much lower music test scores than schools in other states. The Department of Education would like to understand why this is happening and address the issue. If you are using the framework approach, the framework seller in your head is likely to start flipping through his multiple frameworks again. Market entry, M&A, business situation, nothing fits. Now what do? You are on your own. This is one of the key reasons why we believe the framework approach does not work. There are many real-world issues which cannot be fitted into any framework. To solve them, you have to rely on your own problem-solving skills. The problem-driven approach comes to your rescue here. Remember how we had touched upon the fact that we guide and not directly solve. Our method is a plan. You will need to be able to follow it and do the work. With the problem-driven approach, you always start by identifying the problem. You need to understand the problem and the real goal. It is to improve yearly standardized music test scores in Victoria in the next 2 years. And you need to understand the context. The music test scores are standardized across the Australian public school system. The next step, like in the earlier case, would be to build your problem-driven structure. You could imagine 2 causes for the differences in the music score. One is a difference in the student quality, and the other could be a difference in the quality of teaching. The differences in student quality could be on account of the intrinsic profile of the candidates or due to differences in the amount of effort put in. The quality of teaching could vary with the quality of teachers or due to the quality of the context where the teaching takes place. Next, we navigate the issue tree to get to the root cause of the problem and then generate solutions to fix it. With our approach, you test the different hypotheses with your interviewer and realize that there is no difference in the quality of students. You realize that the teaching quality is an issue. But the teachers are at par, so you zero in on the context of the teaching. At this point, it would be good to engage the interviewer and probe as to the key contextual elements which influence student performance. As you receive more information, you could segment this into the teacher-to-student ratio, the availability of instruments, the quality of textbooks, and so on. You again check which of these hypotheses is the root cause, and you realize that the teacher-to-student ratio is the issue. Music learning is driven by the feedback the students receive from teachers. The poor student-teacher ratio affects the feedback process and thus the learning outcomes. Once the root cause has been identified, you can move on to generating solutions. There are 2 options here that you could suggest. 1, improve the ratio, either by hiring more teachers or by reducing the number of students. Or 2, reduce the relevance of the ratio by using more electronic resources, that is, online classes, or by hiring teaching assistants who could be music college students. As always, the interviewer is your asset. You run these options past the interviewer and get feedback. The suggestion is improve the ratio is shot down. But there is a ready acceptance of the other 2 solutions to make the student-teacher ratio less relevant. The last step is to deliver your recommendations in a top-down manner. My recommendation to address the poor music scores in Victoria is to leverage teacher time, namely by introducing electronic resources and hiring teacher assistants. The reasons for this are threefold. First, music learning by students is driven by receiving feedback from their efforts, and this is the key differentiator between Victoria and the other states. Second, we cannot increase this feedback via improving the student-teacher ratio, as we cannot afford more teachers or reduce the number of students. Third, there are alternative ways of delivering feedback which can achieve the same result. This strategy has some risks, namely that we may be overestimating the capacity of teaching assistants to deliver good feedback. As such, in terms of next steps, I'd like to devise a pilot program so we can test the effect of the 2 alternatives we've explored. As you can see, it doesn't matter what case you're facing. MCC's problem-driven approach will allow you to identify the problem, build your own original and perfectly fitting structure, lead the analysis from diagnosis to solution, and deliver quality recommendations. Our method focuses on sound problem-solving skills and business concepts. We do not teach tricks to signal competencies to specific firms or ways to hack the interview process. We prepare you to be a good consultant, not just to be good at consulting interviews. Interested? Watch the full video and many more in the My Consulting Coach Academy, our end-to-end case and fit interview course, and learn to tackle problems in the same way real consultants do. Now, you may wonder, what is so special about the My Consulting Coach Academy? First, the idea behind it. 20 top ex-consultants from McKinsey, BCG, and Bain developed this course to set a new standard. We teach you to build tailored solutions to case problems rather than force-fitting some ready-made frameworks. Second, the breadth. We cover all topics related to the consulting interview, leaving nothing off the checklist. Required fundamentals, systematic case cracking, quick calculation tools, fit interview stories, and much more. We've got you covered. And finally, the active learning. We created more than 200 exercises to test your skills in the most critical areas of case interviews, including structure building, critical reasoning, analytical problems, and full cases.